Hey folks, I'm Michael and welcome back to the channel. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for your daily dose of awful stories. Let's dive into the first post made in the relationship subreddit. The post is titled, "After 4.5 years together, my boyfriend told me I need to earn an engagement ring. Last night my boyfriend, 24M, and I, 23F, were talking about our future. We've been together for 4.5 years. I'm not asking to get engaged right now, but I wanted to talk about where things are headed. We got onto the topic of engagement rings. I mentioned that I think a ring should reflect serious intention and commitment, and that traditionally people view it as something worth saving for. To be clear, I'm not expecting him to go broke, just that it should be meaningful and planned for. He then told me that I would need to earn an engagement ring. I honestly thought he was joking at first, but he wasn't. When I asked what he meant, he said, 'What do you do for me in this relationship? What makes you think you deserve an expensive ring?' This next part might annoy some people, but I asked ChatGPT if I should be alarmed by a comment like that, and obviously it said yes and explained why the comment was problematic. I read its reasoning to him, the only time I've ever done this, and he said, 'Are you just going to fucking ask ChatGPT everything? Get the fuck out of here with that.' I left without another word and drove home. It's now the next day and I still haven't heard from him at all. His comments really shook me and hurt deeply. I feel like my relationship and everything I thought my boyfriend felt about me might have been an illusion. My question, how would you respond or set boundaries after a comment like this in a long-term relationship? Edit. Firstly, I want to thank everyone for the advice, even the harsh ones. I needed to hear it. I used ChatGPT because I kept being told I was overreacting and wanted an outside perspective. It helped me put words to why his comment felt wrong. That's all. As far as the cost of the ring, this was never about money. It was about the way he framed commitment and the idea that I had to earn it. Here's what I sent him. I've had time to think about what you said last night and how the conversation ended. Being told I need to earn commitment and being spoken to the way I was changed how I feel about this relationship. You telling me that makes me feel like I'm wasting my time and that you don't want to marry me. This is part of a continuing pattern. I don't feel respected or valued anymore, and I don't want to stay in a relationship where my worth is questioned. I've decided it's best to end things. Goodbye." This was his response, which went unanswered. What's wrong is the way you demand things. For example, a percentage of a monthly income for a ring, and then go and ask stupid-ass ChatGPT if I'm a red flag. That's only the icing on the cake because I'm asked for stuff every day and I get you everything I can. I do a lot for you and feel like it always goes unnoticed, like I'm never enough. I honestly feel like your damn servant and I'm tired of that. Gifts, presents, and rings should be appreciated, not expected. You don't appreciate anything I do, and that's how I feel. Then, you want to ask ChatGPT if I'm the red flag. Look in the mirror. Edit 2. Thought I should share one depressing detail. When he said, "What do you do for me?" I told him, "Don't we love each other, make each other happy, and have lots of fun together?" And he was still trying to argue his point. Unfortunately, I have to agree with many of you that it seems he's been red-pilled or influenced by his co-workers. Thank you everyone for all the support on my very first Reddit post. Wish me luck in my future endeavors. OP is not dealing with a boundaries issue here, and I really wish more people understood this. There are no magic words that will make this man suddenly see you as a person deserving respect. He either wants to marry you or he doesn't. The notion that you have to earn commitment by doing his laundry, cooking his meals, and proving your worth until one of you dies is completely backwards. If he doesn't already respect you and want to build a life with you because he genuinely can't imagine being without you, then it's time to walk away. Historical Drawer said, "If I were told that and no further in-depth conversation followed, I'd walk away." That's self-centered thinking, followed by a complete shutdown of communication in my opinion. What do you do for me in this relationship? What does he do for you? Ask both questions, not just one of them. The second story for today was made in the AITA subreddit. The post is titled AITA for not wanting to cuddle in order to sleep with my partner. I, 21F, and my partner, 21M, have been living together for about 6 months now. My partner likes to sleep cuddled up with someone. I, however, do not. This isn't something new. I've always had an issue with people being in my personal space while I'm trying to sleep. I don't mind having someone near me or next to me, but it's the cuddling and hugging part that I can't stand. I've always made my feelings on this very clear since I prefer to communicate directly. The first few nights we officially started living together, I didn't mind it. We'd sleep cuddled up and everything was fine. But after a week or two, it became too much. I'm a very direct person when it comes to things that bother me, so when I realized I couldn't sleep comfortably like that, I told my partner. That seemed to really shake things up in our relationship. My partner took it in a completely different direction. For instance, I'd tell him, I don't want to sleep hugging tonight, and for some reason, he'd turn it into a bigger issue. He'd say things like, you don't love me anymore, or you just prefer to be alone. I'd look at him and think, what does that have to do with not wanting to cuddle? That's when the argument started. He'd go on about how he struggled throughout his life, that he finally has a home and family, and that he tries his best for us. I never once said he didn't. I've tried to explain that I would never minimize what he's done for me and that I appreciate everything. I just have trouble sleeping when we're cuddled up, but every time I bring it up, it turns into another argument. It's exhausting trying to set that boundary when it always leads to conflict. The other night we went to bed and he wanted to cuddle again. I told him, please move into your spot, I want to stay in mine. He ignored me and pulled me in anyway, so I said, can you move out of my space and stay in yours? I really wish I hadn't said anything because once again, it turned into an argument. Mind you, I was already exhausted from being sick and barely out of the hospital. He said, I'm tired of you always moving away when I want to be near you. You're acting like I bother you. I replied, it's not that you bother me. We've had this conversation before and I made it clear that I like having my own space while sleeping. But again, he said the same thing. I've had a hard life growing up and I just feel like you don't want me near you. Every time I ask you for one thing, you can't give it to me. I understand physical touch, I really do, but it's just not something I want while I'm asleep. I honestly don't know how else to explain it to him without it turning into another argument every single time. Update. Okay, so it's been 3 days since I posted about not being able to sleep while cuddled up with my partner and how that conversation always leads to arguments between us. First, I'd like to clear a few things up since I've been reading everyone's comments and tried replying to some when I first posted. I'm totally fine with physical touch. My partner and I are always together in our free time and we love spending time with each other. That was never the issue. I love my partner a lot. He's my first serious relationship after spending time healing and making sure I was fully ready for one, and I couldn't be happier having him by my side. Now, there are a few things I didn't make clear in my first post since it was my first time ever posting. When I say cuddled up in order to sleep, I literally mean he's right on top of me. That's just how he cuddles. I'm 5'2" and he's 6 foot for reference. So when we lie down and he wants to sleep cuddled, I really don't want someone literally on top of me while I'm trying to sleep. This isn't something new, I've always been this way, and it's just how I'm used to sleeping. I understand that everyone has different sleeping habits and that cuddling might be one of his. We talked about it and he told me this is a new thing for him, that before he could sleep just fine, but when he's with me, he loves to cuddle because it makes him feel safe and loved. I completely understand that. I'm not a monster, I'm human too. We talked for a while and I told him that I want him to feel safe and loved with me because I feel the same way around him. I also explained why I can't sleep the way he prefers, so we compromised. I saw a comment on my last post suggesting that we cuddle before sleeping and once we're ready to actually sleep, just stay close instead. Another comment suggested we try sleeping with one of our legs over the others so the feeling of closeness doesn't completely go away. That's exactly what we've started doing. Now, we get all the cuddling in before bed, maybe by starting a new show or watching a movie together so we can be cozy before sleep. Then, while sleeping, I've been intertwining my legs with his, and it's really working. We've been able to sleep peacefully without issues since then. As for the people who said I don't deserve him, or that I'm the asshole for not wanting to cuddle, or that I just have issues with physical touch, I don't know how my first post made it sound like I don't love him, but I read your comments and even though they made me feel like the jerk, I guess some of them were still helpful. Not because I don't love him, but because they made me think about the kind of future I don't want for us. Anyway, thank you to everyone who read and offered thoughtful advice. I'm glad I posted and got something positive out of it. We're happy and still very much in love.